going to be reacting to Javier Aguirre's 27-man roster for this call up for the January friendlies against Panama and Bolivia away from home. What is up, guys? This is Masapan Futbolero, and welcome back to another video, another episode of Masapan Futbolero. And like I said before, we're going to be reacting to the call up that Vasco Aguirre did just today, recently. And we're gonna be reacting to it right now. I saw a glimpse of it of some players, and I don't know. So let's get into this. So we're gonna start with the three goalkeepers that Javier Aguirre called up for these two friendlies. We called up Luis Angel Malagon from America, Tala Rangel from Chivas, and Carlos Acevedo from Santos Laguna. So literally the three same goalies from the last two call-ups. And I think I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10, I guess, of the goalie call ups. I mean, it's not the fact that we're just gonna use our Liga MX base players for these friendlies. It's just the fact that nobody is safe. We still have no clue who's gonna be our goalie for the World Cup. I mean, the obvious choice is Malagon, but he's already been criticized by a bunch of Selección fans and even America fans, and even anti-Americanista fan haters, I guess. Um, but I guess no one is safe with no one. And then Tala Rangel, obviously, he's been a complete joke for La Selección. Every time this dude starts, he just concedes goals left and right. And yeah, I mean, his only good performance or was the I guess actually I don't think he had a good performance. Actually, the only games that he didn't lose was against that friendly against New Zealand, Vasco Aguirre's first game back, Uruguay in the last friendly where we drew 0-0, and then the Internacional game that we played against in Brazil, and in Valencia where we drew 2-2. Terrible performance by the team in general. And then obviously the two catastrophe performances that he had against Uruguay before the Copa America, and then against Switzerland where he conceded 4 goals, and then against South Korea again he just concedes goals. He just concedes goals. He's not consistent. Like he's consistent with like the bad teams, semi good teams, I guess. But then when it comes to like the big boys, like he folds. I wouldn't mind giving Carlos Acevedo a chance because I mean this is like the third call up in a row that he gets called up, and bro hasn't even got an opportunity. I would love to see Carlos Acevedo to get one more chance for the selección. Funny because it started with him being like the face of the goalie after Ochoa from the last World Cup, and then all of a sudden it turns to Luis Malagon. And then I guess people are just begging for Ochoa back for the World Cup. Now we're gonna move on to the defenders. We're gonna start one by one. We called up Richard Ledesma from Chivas, Jorge Sanchez, of course, Toro Guzman from Monterrey, Israel Reyes from America, Ramon Juarez from America, Eduardo Aguila from Atlético San Luis, Everardo Lopez from Toluca, Jesus Gallardo from Toluca, of course, and Brian Gonzalez from Chivas. Um, I'll give that a solid 8 out of 10, or maybe like an 8.5 out of 10. It's good. I like the call up that we got. You know, Ledesma, Chivas. I mean, he's been solid for Chivas combined last season, and I guess the start of this season as well. Um, Toro Guzman, good choice. Reyes is our preferred right back. He can play right back for America and obviously for the national team. Ramon Juarez has yet to start for Mexico. I mean, he only started in the last year's friendlies against Internacional and River Plate. I think he played against River Plate in that friendly. Um, Eduardo Aguila, not a bad choice. I feel like I haven't seen the stats of Eduardo Aguila as Atletico San Luis. I mean, I don't really pay attention to Atletico San Luis, but I mean, why not? I guess Jesus Gallardo and Jorge Sanchez, the two worst fullbacks of all time. I'm sorry. The fact that we're using the Liga MX players for this sort of friendlies, and you still call up the shitters, the straight shitters, and those two are the obvious choice of the straight shitters. Because I'm so fed up with both Gallardo and Jorge Sanchez. They don't do nothing. Let's start with Jorge Sanchez. He does nothing. He can't. He can't dribble. This man can't play football at all. Like, he is garbage. I don't want to see him ever with the national team. Like, I know he's the starter for Cruz Azul. Yes, I know he scored that banging golazo against Flamengo in that Intercontinental Cup clash. But it's a fluky thing. Cruz Azul fans could attack me for that, but you can praise him all you want. But he's not for the national team. Like, he needs to go away. Like, he needs to get the out of here for that because I'm sick of him. Gallardo, on the other hand, this dude like had like two of the best seasons of his entire career with Toluca, becoming bicampeones. And obviously, you're gonna have to call him up because his form with Toluca is great, I guess. But when he puts on the green shirt, he is he turns into fucking Severo Mesa, like the worst the worst fullback that I ever got to witness when I was a kid. I can see Gallardo starting two of these games, not giving Brian Gonzalez a chance. Overall, I do like the defender selections. We'll see. We'll see. I'll make a prediction starting 11 after the call up. Now we're gonna move on to midfielders. This is my favorite part because I already see two guys that should never be with the Mexico national team. And right off the bat, Luis Romo. What the hell is he doing here? What is he doing there? I hate this guy. I hate Luis Romo. I hate Luis Romo. I hate him in every aspect of the national team. I don't care if he has a great season with Chivas. I don't care if he has 10 goals or assists or whatever the hell. I just don't want him near my team. I don't want him in my team because he is straight shit. You saw him in the last call up against Colombia and Ecuador, where he was ball watching that screamer goal from I don't know who the frick that was in that third goal against Colombia. And then in the game against Ecuador in Guadalajara, he gave a dumbass pass back to Ener Valencia and forced Tala Rangel to commit a penalty. That was the last time we saw Luis Romo. This is one of Vasco's boys, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to see him in my team. He needs to be gone. I hope he gets injured, I guess. A long-term injury. Just kidding. Um, moving on to the midfielders. I should have named all the midfielders before giving a rant. Eric Lira, Denzel Garcia. Eric Lira from Cruz Azul, sorry. Denzel Garcia from Juarez. Diego Lainez from Tigres. Yojo Alvarado from Chivas. Iker Fimbres from Monterrey. Charlie Rodriguez, our favorite player from Cruz Azul. Kevin Castañeda from Cholos de Tijuana. Obed Vargas from Seattle Sounders. Marcel Ruiz from Toluca. Brian Gutierrez from Chivas. And Gilberto Mora from Cholos de Tijuana. I'll give the midfield, I guess, an 8.5 out of 10, I guess. It's good, but it depends. It depends how Vasco analyzes the midfield because that is it used to be, I think it's still to this point, our weakest point because we couldn't find that pairing midfield for the World Cup. We struggled throughout that midfield because we always put Edson Alvarez with fucking Pineda and Luis Chavez, and that doesn't work because Pineda is straight garbage. And then you put Luis Romo with Edson Alvarez and Charlie Rodriguez, whatever, and then that doesn't work out because two of those guys are straight up bums. And then you put Gilberto Mora in that midfield with Marcel Ruiz and Edson Alvarez, that's magic. That's straight up magic. Even though we weren't convincing in that Gold Cup, I don't know. It's just how Vasco analyzes this midfield pairing for these two games that we're gonna play. I mean, I like obviously Lira. I feel like he's gonna start in these two games. I wouldn't mind Vasco giving the captain armband for Eric Lira. I mean, I think he's the captain for Cruz Azul now. Now that Nacho Rivero is gone, I can see Lira being the captain for these two friendlies. Denzel Garcia, this is a player that I admired a lot. I don't watch Juarez in general, but the amount of, I guess, like praise that this guy gets to being a call up, this was the moment to get the call up, and he got the call up. Hopefully, he gets to play. He gets to play. Breaking news: Charlie Rodriguez and Romo starts over him, and he doesn't get any minutes. What a waste. Another player, Iker Fimbres. This guy, he's a straight baller. He's a good player. His time in Monterrey has been perfect. I mean, he was solid at the U20 World Cup back in just a couple months ago in Chile, alongside with Gilberto Mora and Obed Vargas as well. I wouldn't mind being that midfield, but I think I wouldn't mind seeing Mora as a winger because with Piojo Alvarado, I think that's gonna be a recipe of not scoring a goal, pretty much. One of the positive things for this midfielder, Kevin Castañeda, another player. I think he's been really solid for Cholos. He has 9 goal contributions in his last 12 games in Liga MX, and look at that, he got called up. This is the moment to get called up. I think that's like all the positivity of this midfield. The negativity, I already did the talking with Romo. Now it's Roberto Alvarado. I mean, this is one of Vasco Aguirre's boys, I guess. I mean, he started him in all the Gold Cups, all 6 games. 0 goals, 0 assists. Not just that, but he doesn't do good for Chivas as well. Last season, he was awful with Chivas. I don't know. I really don't know, because if he puts Piojo Alvarado on the right wing, because now our issue is the wingers. Like, it used to be the midfield. It still be the midfield to this day, but right now it could be the wingers as well. There's no creativity for our strikers, because there's a reason why Raul Jimenez and Santi Jimenez has been struggling to get like 7 goals in a game, I guess, or in total in the Gold Cup. It's because our midfield and our wingers lack creativity. And so I think Piojo Alvarado in that team, I think it's going to be a recipe for no show, I guess. Obviously, Charlie Rodriguez. In what world will you start Charlie Rodriguez in 2026? I'm going to concede the fact that Charlie Rodriguez is going to be in the World Cup squad, because he's been in every convocatoria for Vasco Aguirre, except the November one that we played against Paraguay and Uruguay. But besides that, like, what does this guy even do? He doesn't do nothing. Charlie Rodriguez has 62 caps for the national team, 0 goals, and 2 assists, 3 assists. And those assists were against Cuba back in the Gold Cup in 2019, in Tata Martino era. That is insane. And the fact that he still gets called up at this point is kind of frustrating because I'm sure he's a nice guy, I guess, to people in general. He gives a lot of donations to church or whatever, a bunch of charities. But he's straight hot garbage. He's straight up shit for the national team. Like, I don't want to see this guy in the World Cup squad. And last but not least, we have the 3 strikers that Javier Aguirre called up. And those are Ángel Sepúlveda from Chivas, Germán Berterame from Monterrey, and Hormiga González from Chivas. Right off the bat, I'll give it, you know what, call me delusional. Give me a 10 out of 10. It's not the baddest call up that we could ever get for the striking options. But it is what it is, I guess. But in terms, I guess, like on a 4-3-3 system, I would start Hormiga. Ángel Sepúlveda, new Chivas player signing. I feel like this move from Cruz Azul to Chivas, I think it might impact his style of play for Chivas. Obviously, he was what, the top goal scorer from last season's Conca Champions. I think he was like the joint leading goal scorer from 2 seasons ago, the 2024 Liga MX season. Berterame, of course. I mean, it's another Vasco favorites, I guess. I don't really like the guy because we have another naturalizado in the team. It's kind of like the Funes Mori treatment, I guess, because this dude looks like Funes Mori, kind of. It's whatever, I guess. I don't really have comments for the striking positions. I mean, Berterame, I think he'll be an important player for Monterrey. Berterame would keep doing his thing, scoring goals, the most crucial moments for Monterrey. I'll be giving my full starting 11 prediction for these two friendlies in this window, starting with a 4-3-3 system. In goal, I have Carlos Acevedo. I'm tired of seeing the Malagon Talarangel debate. This has to end with Acevedo trying to get his last opportunity. Defenders, Israel Reyes as right back. Center back duo, I'm going to go with Ramon Juarez and Eduardo Aguila. And left back, give me Brian Gonzalez, for God's sake. I don't want Gallardo to be the starting left back, let alone for the World Cup. Midfield, I kind of went creative on this. Went with Eric Lira as the CDM. Marcel Ruiz and Kevin Castañeda. I feel like that could flare up the midfield, I guess. And give me the Captain Armband to Eric Lira. I feel like he could give that that captain material vibe, I guess, to the national team. And the front three, Gilberto Mora, left wing, Iker Fimbres at right wing, and Hormiga Gonzalez as the striker. That is my starting 11 for these two friendlies. Obviously, I think Vasco Aguirre is going to do some change to the starting 11 prior to these two games. But I digress. That's going to be my starting 11. I would like to see these new faces to get action, I guess, for these two games, get some minutes. But I just have a strange feeling that he's going to make a controversial decision for Vasco Aguirre starting Luis Romo, Charlie Rodriguez, the same fucking bums, dude. Even Jorge Sanchez at right back. Like, come on. I'll do a prediction video for these two friendlies. But as of now, this is what we got for these two friendlies. That is it for the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the video. Comment down below. Leave a like. Subscribe. Don't forget the bell notification icon. You won't miss a thing. Peace, lads.